Hi friends, and today we are going to discuss AS13 investments from ICI Study Material Illustration 8. All the remaining 8 illustrations, 3 practical questions and complete theory part already uploaded. You can watch through playlist. So illustration 9, 10, 11, so they are left. We can discuss today illustration 9, and after completion of that we can go to the 10 and 11, the last 2 problems also. But here in this problem, and you are going to work out the fixed income bearing securities and variable income bearing securities also. Smart investments made the following investments for the year 2011 and 12. Okay, we are following financial year, means you can start on April 1st, you can close the books on 31st March. 12% state government bonds you are having, face value, nominal value 100 rupees. 1/4/2011, opening balance you are having 1200 bonds, book value 1,26,000. Of course, nominal value is 1200 into 100, 1,20,000. Interest always to be calculated on the face value, nominal value. 2nd May, there is a purchase of 2000 bonds, 100 rupees each, at 100 rupees each, come interest. Again 30th September 2011, sold 1500 bonds at 105 rupees at X interest. But very importantly, we are following financial year to close the books. April start is the commencement, 31st March is the closing. But where the investments are made, and that company is following calendar year, mean they are giving interest for every June and of course December, June as well as December. First I would like to prepare the fixed income bearing securities. After completion of this we can go to the variable income securities, equity shares. So that in the books of Smart Limited, 12% government bonds for the year ending 31st March 2012. As usual, date, particulars, nominal value, interest amount. You may have the nominal value, otherwise number of bonds, number of shares, you may have it. So this column you may have in your own way. But of course interest and amount. In case of shares, dividend amount. But here you can write number of bonds, number of debentures, or nominal value. Anything you may write it. Okay. Right. So now first I would like to take on 1/4/2011. 1/4/2011. Right there, 2 balance brought down. 1200 bonds are there right in the number of bonds column, and obviously you can check it. Actually 31st March books are closed, on April 1st we brought down, but very importantly company paid on December 31st last year, and 3 months January, February, March is accrued but not due income. So accrued income to income entry already written, transferred to P&L account also 3 months. You have to bring like opening balance here. After 3 more months you can receive 6 months income. Out of 6 months, 3 months will be deducted because already in the last year transferred to P&L. Remaining 3 months you can transfer to P&L account of this year. So that so the face value of these bonds is 1,26,000. Right here 1,26,000, and you may write here interest 1200 into 100. Okay, that is 1,20,000 face value. Always I said that you have to calculate on the face value only. 1,20,000 into 12%. 12% into 3 months, 3/12. Okay, now let us calculate that how much interest will be there. 1,20,000 into 12% into 3/12. So this is what, 3,600 rupees income for the period of 3 months. Right here 3,600. You can travel in a chronological order, date wise. What happened next? May 2nd 2011, there is a purchase of bonds. We can say that 2/5/2011, whenever bonds are purchased, you can write that investment in bonds to bank account. Come to the working notes. You may work out first working notes. 2/5/2011, purchase of bonds. Look at that, how purchase of bonds. 2000 bonds are purchased, each 100 rupees, 2 lakhs rupees. 2 lakhs rupees. Okay. Purchase of bonds 2 lakhs rupees. And obviously it is given come interest, means interest is included there. Let us minus interest which is included there. Interest always to be calculated on face value, as I said that 2 lakhs into 12% into, check it, you are actually purchasing in the month of May. And already company, after one more month, June company will pay the interest. Earlier December company paid. December means January, February, March, April. This is May 2nd. Only 4 months. January, February, March, April. May 2nd we bought. 4 months is accrued but not due interest. And while purchasing, you have to pay that 4 months interest along with cost of investments. Therefore, 2 lakhs into 12% into 4 by 12, 8,000. Thereby we can say 1,92,000. 1,92,000 we can pay towards cost of investments. Okay, write that in the 1,92,000 as cost of investments. So write in the to bank. How many number of bonds you purchased? 2,000 bonds we purchased. Towards interest, how much we paid? 8,000 towards interest we paid. What is the cost you paid? 1,92,000. 1,92,000 simply. Okay. Look at the next transaction, 39/2011. But before that, interest due date is fallen on 36/2011. Write that 36/2011. Whenever you receive the interest, bank to interest in the interest by bank, and you may calculate like this: the total value 3,200 into total debentures you are having, total bonds you are having, 3,200 into 100. So that is 3,20,000 into 12% into 6 months, 6 by 12. So calculate that interest for period of 6 months. Total bonds you are having on that day, on the date of receipt, to 3,20,000 into 12% into 6 by 12. So look at that, 19,200 rupees is the interest. Right in the interest column, 19,200. Right in the interest column, 19,200 rupees. Okay, look at the last transaction. See that 39/2011. What happened? Sales actually done. A bank to investments, in the investments by bank. 39/2011 by bank, within bracket sale. Go to the working note, second working notes. So that is 39/2011 sale of bonds. See that how simple it is. How many bonds are sold? 1,500 bonds are sold. 1,500 into sold each at 105 rupees ex interest. 1,500 into 105. 1,500 into 105. 1,57,500. This is not interest included. Interest to be paid separately. When sale, of course, you receive. This is only you receive towards cost of investments. And interest you have to calculate separately, and you have to collect this. 1,50,000 into 12% into, look at that, 30th September means earlier already June paid, July, August, September, 3 months accrued but not due. Therefore, you can say 1,50,000 into 12% into 3 months, 3 by 12. So this is what, 4,500. Yeah. So what we can say at the time of sale, how much amount you are receiving towards cost of investments? 1,57,500. Interest, towards interest we are receiving 4,500. Immediately at the time of sale, what we are supposed to know? Calculation of profit or loss. First let us say now average cost of investments sold. So totally 3,200 bonds we are having. Cost incurred for them 1,26,000 plus 1,92,000. Total cost for them 1,26,000 plus 1,92,000. 3,18,000. 3,18,000. Right now selling 1,500. Cost incurred for them 1,500 by 3,200 into 3,18,000. Check it, 1,500 divided by 3,200 into 3,18,000. 1,49,062.5. 1,49,062.5. That is the cost of investment sold. We know that sold for 1,57,500. The difference, what we can say, it is a profit on sale of investments. 1 minus 1,57,500. 8,437.5. 8,437.50 is the profit on sale of bonds. Whenever profit is generated, investments account data to P and whenever profit generated, asset to P and L. In the asset to P and L, 39,2011 to P and L, within bracket profit. You may write it in the cost column, 8,437.50. So profit generated by the sale of investments, 8,437.50. Profit on sale of investments. Okay, right. So, and very importantly, how to close your books on 31st. No more transactions taken place, that's all. But you need to close your books on 31st March, and before that, December 31st 2011 has come, interest you have to receive. 31st December 2011, by interest. So right here, 1200 plus 3200 minus 1500, 1700 in bonds still you are having with you. 1700 each 100 rupees, 1,70,000 face value into 12% into 6 months, 6 by 12. Look at that, calculate that interest right in the interest column. 1,70,000 into 12% into 6 months, 6 by 12. Look at the amount here, how much it is? 10,200 rupees. 10,200, yes. Now we can close at the end of the period, that is 31st March 2012. Right there, buy balance carry down. Very clear, totally 3,200 bonds we are having. Out of 3,200 bonds, 1,500 already sold, 1,700 left with us as a balance. And obviously 3 months is still accrued income to income, in the income by accrued income. Calculate that, 1,70,000 into 12% into 3 months, 3 by 12. So calculate that, 1,70,000 into 12% into 3 by 12, 5,100. This is 3 months accrued income. It has to be transferred to P&L account. Obviously here net of income, interest income you can transfer to P&L account. Valuation of investments at the end of the period, cost or market price, whichever is lower to be taken. Whenever market price is not mentioned, cost itself to be assumed as lower to be taken. So whenever market price not given, if market price given, you have to go to the working notes, take the cost price, remaining investments, take the market price, if lower to be taken. So cost lower taken, simply take it, market price lower, and obviously that loss to be incorporated to bring the cost to market value, that loss to be recognized. But no market value mentioned. Obviously I assume cost itself is lower. So in that case, need not to valuation of investments, the balancing figure always represents always like a cost only. Okay, so therefore I would like to transfer the net of interest to P&L account. Go to that, 19,200 plus 4,500 plus 10,200 plus 5,100. Look at the total, 39,000. 39,000. Let us transfer to P&L account, 31st March 2012 to profit and loss account. So 39,000 minus 3,600 minus 8,000. The resulting amount 27,400. And investments, as I said, that take the simply balancing figure, it is equal to the cost. Market price not mentioned, so we can say cost itself is the lower. Then take the debit total, 1,26,000 plus 1,92,000 plus 8437.5. The total here, and so you can take the once again you may check the total. 1,26,000 plus 1,92,000 plus 8437.5. So this is 3,26,437.5. 3,26,437.5. So take that side also, 3,26,437.5. If you minus that, automatically balance will come minus 1,57,500. The resulting amount 1,68,937.50. This is a simple way to work out the fixed income bearing securities. Now let us work out the variable income bearing securities also. Okay, now we can discuss the fixed income bearing securities completed. Now let us discuss the variable income bearing securities, which is equity shares in X Limited, investments in equity shares for the year ending 31st March 2012. Okay, particularly while purchase and sale, you may not find the words of come and X in, because it is not travel on accrual basis. Okay, right. So only while receiving dividend you have to cross check whether it is a pre-acquisition dividend or post-acquisition dividend. Post-acquisition dividend is a revenue income. Pre-acquisition dividend always to be used to reduce the cost of investment. Okay, right. 15/4/2011 purchased 5,000 equity shares, 200 on come right basis. Brokerage 1% paid in addition. Nominal value 10 rupees each. Okay, right. 15/4/2011 when investments are purchased, investment in equity shares account debtor to bank account. So how many 5,000 equity shares are purchased? Okay, don't write anything in the dividend column and come to the working notes. 15/4/2011 purchase of equity shares. So how many shares are purchased? 5,000 equity shares are purchased at the rate of 200. What does it mean come right basis? Come right basis means based on these shares, future right shares will be allotted. Okay, having that feature in these shares, definitely in future right shares will be offered. That is what come right basis. Okay, 5,000 into 200, so that is what 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs. So add brokerage 1%. Add brokerage at the rate of 1%, that is what 10,000 rupees. Therefore we can say it is 10 lakhs. 10,000 rupees the cost of equity shares, right here in the equity shares cost column, 10 lakhs 10,000. Okay, go to the next transaction, that is 3/6/2011. Need not to remember the date to collect the interest like dividend. It is not traveled on the accrual basis. Okay, June 3rd 2011 the company announced a bonus issue for every 5 shares 2 shares are given. 3/6/2011 right here 2 bonus shares. Bonus shares always given at free of cost, no cost will be incurred for that. Right here 3/6/2011 bonus shares offered to the company. Right now how many shares are there? We are having 5,000 shares are there. It is given that for every 5 shares 2 shares are offered, 2/5. That is what 2,000 shares. 2,000 shares bonus shares are offered. Write in the number of shares column 2,000. Dividend column nil, even cost column also nil. So without incurring any cost we received those right shares. Okay, so 9th one is completed. Come to the next one. Come to the next transaction. 16/8/2011 company made a right issue, 1 share for every 7 shares to purchase at 250 rupees. If you would like to buy, you can purchase at 250 rate. The entire money payable on 31st August 2011 for those right shares. On 22nd August 2011, right shares are issued. We purchased on 31st August 2011 when the payment is done, and of course you have to write that date. If you are not interested to purchase, 20% of shares you can sell. They are sold at 60 rupees. The remaining shares are subscribed by them. Okay, so therefore, so whenever the purchase 31st August 2011, 31st August 2011, right here, 31st August 2011, about right shares. Look at the total number of shares right now. 7,000 shares you are having right now. How company is offered the right shares to us? The right shares are offered 1 share for every 7 shares. That is 1 by 7. Okay, that is 1,000 shares are offered. Make into 20% and 80%. So that is 200 shares, 800 shares. But these 200 shares are simply not shares, rights are sold, each at 60 rupees. That is 12,000. Okay, so this is what 800 shares are purchased at the determined price. What is the determined price? 250. 250. Okay, so that is what 2 lakhs. 800 shares are purchased. Therefore, you write that investment in equity shares account data to bank account. You can indicate like R, which means right shares. We purchased 800 shares. Need not to write anything in the dividend column, but cost incurred is 2 lakhs. But 200 rights are sold at 12,000 rupees, but it can be simply transferred to P&L account. Truly, actually, because we are having the earlier right shares, the right shares are being offered. Usually, whenever right shares are offered, so that particular feature, what the feature right shares in future they will be given, that feature is lost by these shares. Automatically, when the feature is lost, their value will be slightly reduced in the market. If it is given slightly reduced, 2 rupees reduced per share, it may be given like that. So whenever it is given like that, how much, because of losing that particular feature, if the shares, earlier shares value, if anything is reduced, to that extent you have to reduce the cost of investment. Remaining amount to be transferred to P&L account. But the thing is, in this particular problem, because of right shares are offered, earlier right shares value to what extent is reduced, it is not given. So that you can simply transfer this is to P&L. So bank to sale of rights to P&L account. Like revenue income, that's all. Okay. Next one, come to the 2nd September. Dividend 15% received on 31st March 2011. 31st March 2011 means, so which is for the last year dividend is given. For the ending of the last year dividend declared by the company. Of course, it is given on which date? Received on 16/9/2011 we received. For the 31st March 2011, which is the last year dividend. Obviously, these bonus shares and right shares, they were not in the issue at that point of time. Only you can receive the dividend on these shares. Moreover, these shares actually you bought during this year. Means at that period somebody is the owner, but during this time we are the owner. That is their dividend I received, which is called pre-acquisition dividend. This is what. So reduce the cost of investment. Okay, right there which date, that is 16/9/2011. 16/9/2011. Right there by bank. Within bracket we can say dividend. Always it is to be collected on the face value, each 10 rupees face value, that is 50,000 into percentage. How much dividend percentage it is given? Percentage of dividend is given. It is always dividend to be calculated on the nominal value or face value. 15% dividend it is given. Okay, so that is I think 7,500 rupees. 7,500 rupees you can write in the cost column to reduce the cost of investment. To reduce the cost of investment, 7,500 rupees. Okay, right. And lastly, 3,000 shares are sold 15/12/2011. 3,000 shares are sold at 300 rupees. Brokerage 1% incurred extra. Okay, so when investments are sold bank to investments, in the investments by bank, that is 15/12/2011 by bank, within bracket sale, Look at that, 3000 shares are sold. Okay, now let us work out the same in working notes. Okay, let us work out the same in the working notes. So when actually sale has taken place, 15/12/2011, sale of equity shares. How 3000 shares sold at 300 rupees. That is what, 9 lakhs. Okay, it is given 1% brokerage. Always purchase to be added in case of sale to be deducted. Minus 1% brokerage, 9% in the sense, 1% in the sense 9,000. And therefore 8,91,000. Okay, right there in the amount column, 8,91,000. And obviously we need to find out immediately profit loss on the sale of investments. Calculation of profit or loss on sale of investments. First I would like to say average cost of investment sold. How do you say this one? Okay, totally 7,800 number of investments we are having. For them cost incurred is 10,10,000 plus 2 lakhs minus 7,500. That's what we can take there. Check it how much it is. 10,10,000 plus 2 lakhs minus 7,500. 12 lakhs 2,500. Out of them we sold 3,000 investments are sold. Therefore 3,000 divided by 7,800 into 12 lakhs 2,500. Check it how much. 3,000 by 7,800 into 12 lakh 2,500. The result is, look at that, average cost of investments sold, we can say 4,62,500. 4,62,500 average cost of investments sold. We know that sold for 8,91,000. The difference we can simply say profit on sale of investments. Okay, so that is 8,91,000 minus 4,62,500. The profit is 4,28,500. Whenever profit is there, investments accounted are to P&L account. In the investments to P&L, 15/12/2011 to P&L, within bracket profit, so how 4,28,500. Cost column 4,28,500 rupees. And finally look at the last one, received interim dividend 10% for the year 2011 and 12 on 15/1/2012. 15/1/2012, when you receive the interim dividend, in between two balance sheets, it will be usually given by the company. Whenever it is, company is going to expect future very good profits, so and in that case generally interim dividend is given in between two balance sheet dates. Bank to dividend, in the dividend column by bank, right there dividend, always face value to be given. Totally out of 7,800, 3,000 investments are sold. Still 4,800 we are having. 4,800 face value 10, 48,000 into 15%. Look at that, 48,000 into 15%. 7,200 rupees is the interim. 48,000, sorry. How much percentage interim dividend given? Not 10% is given. Sorry, it is not 15%, it is a 10%. So then it is 4,800 right in the dividend column. 4,800 rupees right in the dividend column as income interim dividend. Finally, shares are quoted in the stock exchange 220 market price. You have to check valuation of investment, cost or market price, whichever is lower to be taken. If cost is lower, no problem at all. Market is lower, you have to incorporate the loss in that case. Okay, now anyhow we can close at the end of the period. Okay, so that is what 31st March 2011, sorry 12, 31st March 2012 buy balance carried on. As I said that 7,800 investments totally we are having. Out of them 3,000 sold, 4,800 still we are having. Moreover 4,800 dividend we can transfer to P&L account at the end of the year, to P&L account. Lastly, let us value the investments, either cost or market price to be lower to be taken. Finally, valuation of investments at the end of the period. Let us come to know cost of investments at the end of period. So actually 3,000 cost is, average cost is this much, but 4,000 cost totally for 7,800, this is the cost. For 4,800, how much cost? There I can say 4,800 divided by 7,000 into 12,02,500, and you may check it the cost how much it is. 4,800 divided by 7,000 into 12,02,500. Okay, so and you may check it the cost at the end of the period, the market value you may check it. 4,800 totally 7,800. This is what 7,800, sorry 7,800. Out of them 4,800 right now with us. 4,800 by 7,800 into 12,02,500. So therefore we can say this is 7,40,000. This is what average cost of investments left. Let us check the market value also. 4,800 into 220. It is given market price each 220. 4,800 into 220. Market price is 10,56,000. Whichever is lower to be taken. Obviously cost is lower, so cost to be taken. Whenever cost is taken, loss need not to incorporate. Obviously balancing figure will be only cost, 7,40,000. And you may close both the sides. 10,10,000 plus 2 lakhs plus 4 lakhs 28,500, 16 lakhs 38,500. Okay, right, the other side also 7,500 plus 8,91,000 plus 7,40,000. The total is 16,38,500. Okay, now this is the simple way to handle this particular problem. Illustration 9. Still 2 more problems are left, 10 as well as 11, and after completion of those 2 problems and we can go to the next topic. Okay, bye.